whenever I reflect on every sort of job I've had, it's not the success that I kind of look back on, reflect on. It's the build that I reflect on, because at that time you know that it's not going to be smooth. There are going to be plenty of doubters, and that's when your belief and resolve gets tested. Not just for me personally, but for the whole club, the whole group. And I love working through that, and getting out the other side. I really enjoy it. And like I said, that was the biggest attraction for me in this position was, aside from it being, like I said, a massive football club and the premier competition in the world, was an opportunity to do something that people will see as, in many respects, insurmountable. I love that. And I think Harry would say it himself, is he wants his team to be successful, and he's been very, very successful individually for a long time, pretty much since he first started at this football club. And yet the club hasn't had success. So he'd be the first one to say that we need to have a strong team. And that's where my focus is, to build a team that, will reflect the same sort of individual excellence that he's had within a team context. So, I'm certainly big on team ethos and making sure that, that we need a strong unit if we're going to be successful. And I'm sure Harry will be the first to vouch that needs to be the case. Look, if I say it's annoying me, be misleading, but it doesn't register. I'm not, unless I always believe that you're much better sort of trying to understand what a situation is through your own eyes. And for me, it's, in my head right now, Harry's on holiday, he's lying on a sunbed and, playing with his family and having a great time. That's the picture I've got. Now, if other things are going on, I'm not going to think about them. And the reason I don't is because he'll be here in 2 days' time, and everything I need to know will be sitting right in front of me. So in the meantime, I'm not going to sort of lose time or sleep on sort of what conjecture there may or may not be out there. Some of it, because then you're jumping at shadows. How much of it is true? How much of it is not true? Nothing's landed on my desk at this moment from anybody at the club that says that there's a decision to be made there. Not even close to that. So because of that, like I said, I'm looking forward to having Harry here on sort of Wednesday and getting ready for the tour. Yeah, and very gracious of him, but I think I've probably spent 20 minutes in his company, mate. So, and I've never spoken to him otherwise. So, but if you're asking me, he's going to go down as one of the greatest managers of all time. He's had an unbelievable influence on the game of football, and all of us involved in it, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, been influenced by him. Absolutely. What an unbelievable manager, and but you can check my phone, mate. He's not in there. I don't have him as Pep, to call up. Yeah, that's right. That's when I met him. Yeah, and he was great. He's very generous. And look, most of the top managers. I mean, I tell people I coached against Sir Alex Ferguson in 2000 in Brazil. And we did a press conference together, and he gave me 15 minutes of his time, mate. It was gold for me. I was only sort of, I think I was 34 at the time, and I was coaching a team from Australia and playing against Man U in the Club World Cup, and he spent 10, 15 minutes that were gold for me. So, I think all the great managers and the great people in this world, they have that trademark of being generous. And when I came across Pep in Japan, he was generous with his time, and look, those kind of things always are. You don't want to. There are people who you admire from afar, and there are plenty that after I met them, I wish I hadn't. But but he's not one of them, and it's kind of been a guiding principle in my life. I don't want anyone to sort of walk away disappointed if they've had a chat to me. So you kind of want to be kind with your time, and he certainly was. Me, I've always gone with my gut with these things, and like I said, I know when I'm at my best, and when I'm at my best is when the challenge is the biggest, and I thought this was a challenge that kind of would fit all of the things that I'm looking for as the next step. For me to come from where I've come from to be sitting here today, I needed to have that instinct inside me to know when to move on, because I've had to be faultless in my career to get to this point, because like no one's going to rate an Australian manager, are they? So if I'd had any sort of failures, significant failures along the way, I was never going to get here. Part of that process has been to me to know that, you know, I need to keep moving to be at my best, and you know, yes, there's always challenges at every club you're at. You know, every club I've been at that I've left, or even the national team, there was more challenges, but there are always challenges, always. You know, even if I stayed at a club for 5 years, I'd never be satisfied at where we're at. Right, I'll be looking to improve all the time. So that's not the key factor for me. The key factor for me was that there was an opportunity here to again make an impact at a football club, which I've tried to do at every club I've been.